to expose an illusion, a mass delusion known as evolution. Utterly confusing, so silly it's amusing. We've analyzed the evidence and come to a conclusion. It's a religion, a false interpretation, based in atheism and a big imagination. Compare creation, a true evaluation. There's no debate, it's incredibly amazing. The real question is just where we all came from. Were we made by God, or are we just born scorned? It really matters in the scheme of things, you see, cause if there is no God, it makes it hard to agree about morality or mortality, about right and wrong. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say a merchant wants to have himself a servant, but can't afford a robot, so he steals himself a person. Biology and archaeology, study astronomy, geology, zoology, inspect your history, apply your memory. By George, God exists, it's elementary. What does it matter if we're only animals? If a human eats a human and becomes a cannibal? Is there a basis to call anyone a racist if we're all just monkeys anyway and apes with shaven faces? What would be the difference if a person, say for instance, took up humans to the wagon to pull it for a distance? Who would be at harm if the man who had the farm said his wife lived in the shed because he loved his horse instead? Truth is all just relative and no one can tell what it is. Then how can we have standards or tell positive from negative? Maybe we could simply pull a number from a hat and change it as we go along and make our truth like that. A better way, you realize, is use a higher source. The Bible's never changing and is solid in its course. The work that it encompasses is trustworthy and true. The verses are a synthesis of history review. Read biology and archaeology, study astronomy, geology, zoology, inspect your history, apply your memory. By George, God exists, it's elementary. Look into it, investigate, the clues will be revealed. Can't imitate a version of the truth that is not real. The word is written in our hearts, that's why it strikes a chord. Has answers to our questions and claims you can't ignore. We challenge you to journey on a worthy expedition, to voyage on a mission and make your own decision. A venturesome excursion, an odyssey, a quest, a search that's all-encompassing with each and every step. The final test is coming, consider all you've heard, and contemplate the reasons to investigate the word. Immerse yourself in study, test it through and through. Adapt it to your lifestyle, change your worldview. You suddenly might realize and have a revelation. The scales that were on your eyes have taken a vacation. A whole new type of vision without optics or a lens. So throw away those spectacles and take a look, my friend. Read biology and archaeology, study astronomy, geology, zoology, inspect your history, apply your memory. By George, God exists, it's elementary.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of...
I got caught off guard. I didn't know that song was that short. Good evening, everybody. Boiler Room Radio. I don't ever say that anymore. I'm your host, actually, Jim Funky. And I don't ever say that anymore either. I just wanted to put it out there for all the new people. I've seemed to come across some new subscribers in the last few days. And welcome to all of you for coming over from Dan's channel. I appreciate him putting out the video and giving me a pat on the back. So welcome, everybody. Bling, I got some mail. All right, let's get this shit underway. Here we go. JR's coming on from across the pond, so we're going to tap that one right there really quick. I'm going to go over here and get Mr. David F. Town Bala added into the show. Slide down to the bottom of the list. Grab Mr. Vaughn West, and then up just a smidgen, and Lance Musser is going to make it on tonight. Boom. There we go. That's 4. Everybody's added in. Dan's not going to be able to make it. He's got family stuff to do, and I completely agree with that. Family first, always. Good evening, JR. Good evening, David. Good evening, Vaughn.
Hey.
Still waiting on Lance. He's always last to show. There he is, Lance Musser.
Mr. Vaughn West.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nice.
Hey, man.
All right.
Still good, Jim?
What's that? Yeah, it sounds good, one. Except for that shit. What the hell is that? Somebody dropped their microphone?
Sounded like they did, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't me.
All right. Yeah, that's what it was. JR? That's you, JR. What the hell?
It's a small desk mic I've got, and I would just hi, Vaughn. It's a small mic I have on my desk, and I was just repositioning it. Okay. To
the floor.
you can hear me.
Everything's all squared away, though. We got it going.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into this show then. What do you guys want to talk about first? You guys want to talk about missiles raining down on Hawaii?
Is it okay if had a quick word with Lance first, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, Lance.
Hey, bud.
Hi, and Happy New Year, by the way. I meant no offence to you the last time I was on. I think it was Christmas Eve. About your son who has autism. What I was basically trying to get across was we all have a slight bit of autistic traits in our nature sometimes. Okay, and I meant no offence against you or your son. Okay.
I would go a step further and say there's not one human being on the planet without some kind of genetic deficiency.
True.
Just to be fair.
Yep.
I mean, I mean, we're not a perfect species, so we're all genetic. We've all got some kind of genetic shit going on. But I was thinking of you today as I stopped in the British store and bought me some Walker prawn cocktail crisp.
Oh yeah, Walker's prawn cocktail crisps. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my favorite, the Worcestershire and prawn cocktail. Those are my favorite chips from Walker.
I quite like the ready salted, but the best crisps you can get are the Smith's crisps, where they're just plain crisps. You get a little sachet of salt, where you shake your own salt in the crisps and shake the bag.
Oh, I remember those. Yep, I remember those. Where you shook in your own salt. Yep, I remember those.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay, Jimmy, all yours. And also, Happy New Year to everybody in the room, and Happy New Year to Jimmy, Dave, and Vaughn.
Happy new calendar.
Thank you. Yeah, true.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
All right, on with the show. Thanks for all that, by the way, JR. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
David, what do you know? Let's all four of us. Let's discuss this crap that happened out in Hawaii today.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Lance.
So I said yesterday or the day before, after Trump made the shithole comment,
Yep.
and it has been taken out of context. Even the Durbin guy has come out and said, you know, they were talking about chain migration from Sudan, Niger, Chad, 5 really shithole countries. So anyway, I said within the next day or two, something is going to take over the news and we won't even be talking about shitholes. And lo and behold, 2 o'clock this afternoon, what happened?
It was at actually 8:08 this morning when the tweet went out.
But
And no, hang on just a second. Do you guys know the area code of Hawaii?
911.
No, it's 808.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are no coincidences. I just,
Yeah, it's 8:08 right now.
wow. We're talking that's divine providence right there, buddy. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I mean, if you guys think that this was all just somebody made a accidental tweet or something like that, nothing happens by accident when it comes from the federal government. It just doesn't, okay? It doesn't.
That's what I said on Twitter.
Yeah. Tulsi Gabbard, I don't think that you listen to my program on a regular basis, but if you should happen to get a hold of this program for whatever reason, disassociate yourself from the federal government. They don't have your best interest in heart, and if you really love your state, you'll do something else to help it. Being a part of the problem is not helping. I just thought I'd put that out there too. You guys know that the flight time from North Korea to Hawaii is about 35 minutes. So even if, I mean, they still would have been dead, right? Before the other tweet came out to tell them that it was a false alarm. And one other thing, if anybody in Hawaii is watching, please don't shove your kids in a sewer during an attack. That's not a good place for them to be.
Is that what happened?
Just saying.
Yeah, I posted videos of that.
Yeah, see, I didn't follow up on any of it, so I'm gonna have to catch it from you guys. I wonder if there were rapes and shit going on too.
Well, it was mass chaos. You know, the deal is, I mean, I've seen videos of kids running out of colleges. I've seen people driving their cars, bailing out of their cars and running. You know, whoever did this, man, they did this for reaction time to see on the people. They did this on purpose. There was an anti-ballistic missile drill happening in Hawaii when this happened.
Imagine that.
And so, you know, and what got me is I knew right away, you know, South Korea and North Korea are buddy right now. They really, truly are. They're having another round of talks coming up. Kim isn't going to launch this right now, for one thing. And two, he wants to get into the Olympics. You know, I knew right away this was a false alarm, but they did this on purpose. This was no accident. And because this came blaring across TVs, blaring across radios, you know, across everybody's cell phone, except one thing didn't happen. That really, you know, made me scratch my head. The air raid sirens didn't go off during this.
There were on some parts of the islands they did actually.
You know,
there was quite a few people that tweeted out that they heard sirens. I saw quite a few. I saw quite a few tweets of people did hear sirens.
You know, so maybe it wasn't. It could have been human error, just like the guy that deleted Trump's Twitter account for a while. You know, it could be some disgruntled asshole like, fuck this. It could be someone trying to start a war. There could be many reasons for this. All I know is that I feel sorry for those people because they're really scared of them. And I'd have been scared too when they're saying this is not a fucking drill.
Right.
You know, there was people calling up their loved ones in other states telling them goodbye.
Yep.
This was a psychological mind fuck.
Well, here's something else. I mean, this is
and
all
maybe
getting...
they are preparing these people for the real deal too. Maybe they know a war's coming. They're preparing the people. Hey, man, get used to this.
Predictive programming is what it is.
Yep, exactly.
Before I run off on a rant or something, I'm going to go ahead and let the other two. Lance had to go update his Skype. He'll be right back, by the way. Vaughn, let me get your take on this whole thing.
Okay, apparently last Sunday there was Q, Miss B wrote that statement that we're in DEFCON 1, okay? Yeah. Now, did the missile...
That just added to the hype, dude. That added so much to this hype. Go ahead.
Well, here's what I'm trying to get to. Did the actual event of this alleged missile attack happen last Saturday or this Saturday morning?
It was this morning.
Yeah, it was
this morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, can you imagine... Can you imagine who was behind this? Can you say they tend the synagogue of Satan? Can you imagine this, girls and guys?
Well, that's what I'm. This is all predictive programming. Look, you had the headline drop a week ago that the Department of Homeland Security was going to put out some kind of thing. What, Monday or Tuesday coming up on the 16th? About everybody should prepare for nuclear war and how to do it. And then you had the book drop on Trump called Fire and Fury. And now this. You know, they're preparing the people for a nuclear war. There's one coming. I got a feeling in the next couple of weeks there's going to be some kind of miraculous breakthrough. And there's going to be world peace announced. All these heads of state are going to come together and they're going to say, okay, we agree, there's going to be world peace.
Yeah, you got the...
And everybody's going to go, yay! And then within a couple of days, bombs are going to start falling out of the sky.
It's going to happen right after it's going to happen after the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, and it won't happen directly after the regular Olympics because right after the regular Olympics, you've got the Paralympics.
Paralympics, yeah.
And then we're supposed to have drills again come the beginning of April with South Korea. You know, so, you know, we put off the drills right. We were supposed to start having drills, you know, in the next week or two, but then we delayed them because of the Olympics. So now we're not going to have them until April.
Right. So, JR, did you know any of this shit was happening in Hawaii this morning? Did you guys get word of that over in the outskirts of London? Because that's what they consider the rest of the country.
Outskirts of London.
We're not quite in the outskirts of London. We're more up north. But yeah, I heard about it.
No, the city of London considers all of you people outskirts.
I
right?
know.
That's
Well,
fine.
we don't consider this a city of London, the UK. Anyway, up
There-
north.
it's not.
Anyway,
It's like the Vatican.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on? I mean, if you
Well,
got a
yeah,
tweet from your federal government that said there's a missile headed your way, what would you think?
Well, I heard about it on the news whilst we were having tea tonight, and I thought, very strange. And I 100% agree with what Dave said. The military don't do things for no reason at all. There has to be a reason behind it. And I think they are testing the response of the people. Because I can see the United States are going to go to war with North Korea soon. Okay, North Korea are looking very... in a conciliatory mood with South Korea.
Yeah, they're talking on the phone and stuff. They
Yeah,
picked up
it's
the
an
bat
idea,
phone.
but I
And,
think-
what's up over there?
I think what they're trying to do there is drive a psychological wedge in between South Korea and the United States.
You think so?
And also to try and rally their allies or their communist friends, Russia and China, that if the United States launch a preemptive strike on North Korea, then it's not them that have caused it, but the United States.
China actually said something. I don't know I think it was earlier this week. They said that when all this crap shakes out, we don't want any U.S. troops on the peninsula of Korea. Period.
Exactly. So what would happen is if the United States launch a preemptive strike, what China might do is, being building up troops on the North Korean border, is invade North Korea and make a buffer zone in between China.
I don't think they'll have to invade. All they have to do is drive trucks of food over there and say, "Hey, man, we'll be your friends if you guys let us feed you." And they'll go, "Okay."
Well, what I'm basically saying is cross the border.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Which
they
is
are
technically
not.
invading.
They do not want any troops on the peninsula, and damn sure don't want them crossing the DMZ right now. So
No, that's
no
the worst
US.
fear of China.
Yeah.
That's the worst fear of China, is having a reunified North and South Korea.
right.
Because that means it would have a shitload of American troops on the Chinese border, and also on the small, thin Russian border as well.
Right.
Because Russia has a border with North Korea.
Small,
So,
yeah.
so
like
it's
100
both China and
kilometers or
Russia are fearing a reunified North and South Korea. And so, I can see a possible United States preemptive strike. It will be after the Olympics, because I can't see them doing it before the Olympics, but you never know. The element of surprise is there.
Well, let's kind of back
so-
the truck up and get back to what we were talking about, which is Hawaii.
Yeah. Well,
I-
this has everything to do with what I'm talking about, Hawaii, because probably what they were doing today is doing this drill to see how people reacted before they did anything preemptive in North Korea, because any preemptive strike on North Korea will signify a possible retaliatory attack from North Korea, which could hit Hawaii. So this is why they probably launched this drill today, to see how people would react in the event of that scenario.
Yeah. It's preemptive programming or predictive programming. You got me saying preemptive now. Yeah. It's predictive programming. They're training the people to react accordingly.
And also, what they were doing is monitoring how the people did react.
Yeah, absolutely. So that they can plug it into some fucking algorithm and come up with a final solution. If we
Yeah,
could.
well, that's it. Yeah. And then they can tailor the way
Their
that
response,
the
yeah.
response of the people was to the way
they
that
respond to
their-
them. Yeah. I got it.
they respond.
So,
yeah.
okay, final thing. What did the BBC have to say about it?
Not much. They just interviewed somebody from Hawaii and then asked him, what did you think about the false alarm? And he said, well, it's crazy, utterly crazy. And it's heads need to roll for this, basically.
Who? whose head's going to roll? Who's in charge of the state of Hawaii's Twitter account? You know, are they going to claim that a cat ran across a keyboard or something and accidentally sent that out? Or I mean, you know, come on, this is not. Nobody's head's going to roll. They did it on purpose. You know that for a fact, right? I mean, that's
I know that, yeah.
Even this ex-Republican congressman came out today. He was getting interviewed, and he says, I don't believe that this was an accident. He says, I don't believe that someone pushed a button on accident.
No.
You know, he wouldn't go any further than that, but he said, I don't believe that someone did this, you know, on accident. Because an ex-congressman saying that.
Because they were having a drill at the time. So you know that they were monitoring all phone traffic, yeah. So this was part of their drill, was to see how the people are going to react to an incoming strike.
Well, here's a crazy input to this, and I'm not going to discredit the little gal called Miss B, because she ciphered and ciphered exactly what they were trying to say, and she put it out. She cannot be held responsible. You know, whoever the clown was in government that put that out is the one that needs to pay the dues, not the young lady, whoever Miss B is, because she just did what an intelligent person would do. She monitored it and she put it out there because she thought it was a true threat.
Who's Miss B?
Yeah, who's Miss B? I never heard anything about a Miss B.
Well, she's the one that put the tweet out about DEFCON 1.
Well, see, no one knows the true DEFCON, man. Only the military does. You know, you got this site, the DEFCON whatever alert on Twitter, and all these people seem to think this guy knows the DEFCON. He don't know a goddamn thing because it's not released.
Look, if we were at DEFCON 3, all military leave would be canceled. All military personnel would have to return to post, and they would be on 24-hour guard. That's DEFCON 3, right? That's the way that shit rolls, man. So if you know anybody that's in the military and they're off on vacation somewhere, we're not in DEFCON 3, man. We're not. There's no way. Civilian traffic is still flowing in and out of the bases every day. If we were at DEFCON 3, that would stop.
Yep, that'd be a sure sign.
Well, they already know where this information came from, because if they did exactly what she did, they can chase back, put it out there, and cipher through this. It ain't no mystery. I mean, if people here on YouTube can do this, we all know we ain't in no DEFCON problem, okay? If we were, we'd be in a hell of a shape, and it'd be a national emergency. The military, anybody by a military base would know just exactly what's going on.
They're not going to let the people know what the DEFCON status is until something starts getting blown up. Then they'll come out, you know, because about 3 years ago, they quit putting it out on television. They used to tell you on television every night what after 9/11, that was like a daily thing for them.
Yeah.
So.
And they stopped doing it.
Yep.
So now they don't want you to know.
We're at fucking war 24 hours a day anyway, man. What, we got a war going on at 3 separate places? DEFCON. Anyway.
Well, I thought they completely succeeded with what they were attempting to do, didn't they?
Absolutely. They scared the shit out of the Hawaiian Islands and a bunch of people over here that had family over there.
Are you telling me people stuffed their kids in the sewer?
Yeah. They had videos on YouTube.
Damn.
It's all over YouTube. The guy standing there, he pulled the lid off, and he was like, come on, honey, come on. She's like, I don't want to go in there. He's like, it's the safest place. Dude, don't shove your kid in the fucking sewer.
Clown down there with big, sharp teeth, man, and he'll eat that baby.
I'm just, I don't know. This is so beyond the pale for anything. Whatever.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's the condition people too. That way, when a real alarm goes off, people aren't going to believe it. Like the boy that cried wolf, and they're all just going to.
Right. They go, oh yeah, it's probably just another fake tweet, man.
They get told the tsunami's fixing to hit the island because of a major earthquake. They're going to ask, should we believe it or not?
Right.
That's another part of the government stuff with that. It's to condition people to getting killed.
And to be scared to death all the time, so that you listen to them.
Fucking time.
That's their whole objective right now, is to listen to the government. We got your back. We're gonna let you know what's going on. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to the internet. That's what they want. That's what they want. So, I don't know, man. This is just.
Well, for people that aren't paying attention to what's really happening in Korea, that they would believe, like I said, I knew right away. I'm like, South Korea and North Korea are in talks right now. Little Kim sending delegations to the Olympics. You got Trump coming out the other day saying they're best buddies now. And then he made a comment. The reporter asked him, have you talked to him? And Trump like, I won't say I have. I won't say I will. I just won't comment on that. But we got a real good relationship. I believe we have a real good relationship, me and Kim Jong-un. After he calls him fire, all these words he thrown at him, I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe this is way down the rabbit hole, if somehow Kim isn't getting paid off to make Trump look like a tough guy.
In the Bible, it says that there will be peace right before war, right? I mean, that's not a direct quote, but it says that in the end times, there's going to be world peace. And shortly after is destruction. So
I understand.
That's what I'm saying. In the next couple of weeks, man, because of the whole Olympic thing coming up, everybody's going to get together and kumbaya and slap each other on the ass and say, "Hey, man, we're all in it together." And boom. That came to me today. I don't know why.
Kim Jong Un have a real good relationship after all the things been said, and. Either Trump's batshit crazy and he's outright fucking lying, or this is all fucking show and he's best friends with Little Kim and they're talking on the phone every day going over their parts.
I think it's the latter. He's batshit crazy.
If a Trump supporter, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to, if a Trump supporter can still support this guy with him coming out saying him and Kim Jong-un are best friends, if that don't show you this guy's goddamn delusional, you fucking kidding me?
Right.
How can anybody support this son of a bitch anymore? He's responsible for all this shit right now. But I know he's playing a part. I know Trump's part of the game. I know he's playing a part.
He's a big villain, ego, man.
He's like J.R. Ewing in Dallas. He's the man you love to hate. I give him. He'll get an award for this.
In hell.
A Twitter award.
In hell.
But you know what I mean? How can Trump come out and say we're good friends now, and maybe I've talked to him? Yeah, come on now. Either you're a fucking liar
where did he say that from the golf course? Did he say that from the golf course? Because that's where he was today.
No, he said it in a Wall Street Journal interview on Friday.
Oh, that must have been after he set the tee time for today. Because when the whole Hawaii thing was going down, he was out swinging clubs.
Yeah, he was on the golf course, But, it's like I said, it's a guy that follows this North Korea and all this war stuff. And like some of y'all, for Trump to stand there and say that, it's just curious. It's like either we're being totally played or he's batshit crazy.
We're being played, brother. We've been being played for 115 fucking years.
No, I know, but do you think he's in cahoots with Kim Jong-un right now? And Kim Jong-un's just playing a part like in WWE wrestling?
Yeah.
No.
Basically, yeah. I don't think that they're doing it together as a twofer. I think that they're doing what they're told. The powers that be are delegating whatever goes on from day to day.
Well, I know China and Russia's whispering in Kim's ear because they're buddies. Russia came out the other day and announced that Kim Jong-un won this round over Donald Trump with these peace talks. Putin came out and announced that Kim won the fight. So is Russia trying to push a war with North Korea by saying, "Hey, look, Trump, you're a pussy. This dude beat you out." There's some shady shit going on right now.
He's playing to Trump's ego. If he did say that, he's playing to Trump's ego.
Yeah, Trump did. That's what Putin said.
I didn't see that.
He said Kim Jong-un just beat Trump with these talks. Basically, Kim Jong-un,
that's because
the West with these talks.
Yeah, but that's because Trump was talking about doing the preemptive strike bullshit. So in order to squash that, that's why Kim grabbed the phone.
Everybody's jerking each other off in this whole thing. This is what gets me so sick about it. It's everybody's in on this together.
It feels like a game.
It is a game.
Yeah,
it's a game that people really die in.
Yeah.
Just ask the people in
and
Syria,
not their kids.
People in ask the people in Yemen and in Iraq. Yeah, people die in this.
All those
game.
shithole countries. Yeah. Is that
All
right?
the shithole countries.
All the shithole countries. Yep. All the shithole countries that we've created over the last 100 years that the United States has been in power.
We've ripped apart.
Yeah. Yep.
We're the reason why they're shitholes. Economic sanctions, dropping bombs on them. Yeah, they're shitholes because of us. But, we're a shithole nation, too. Look at fucking Chicago and East
Detroit.
and South L.A.
Yeah.
Detroit. New parts of New York City. We're a shithole, too.
The Appalachians. There's a lot of little towns in the Appalachians that look just like Haiti. It's just ridiculous, man.
It's a saying like my dad said when it goes to Trump. A man that lives in glass houses shouldn't cast fucking stones.
Right.
He really shouldn't. Trump's spurting up all this shit, and his base is rubbing his nuts for him after he says this stuff. But it's stupid. He's saying stuff that goes right in our face too.
For him,
now that JR's, I wanted to ask you about this. I remember JR. Trump was supposed to go to Britain this year to open up the embassy over there.
He hates that building.
And then he come out with the tweet saying, "Oh, I'm not going now because Obama picked a shitty place and spent all this money on this crappy embassy I don't like." Well, the thing about that is, Obama built the embassy, but Bush picked the location.
Yep.
Exactly. It was decided before he came in.
Yeah.
I do got to say something, though.
It's a lie, though. The lie is this. It's because Prime Minister May came out and told Trump, if you come over here, dude, we're going to have so many fucking protests, they're going to burn London down.
And they'll start with the fucking brand new embassy.
Yep.
I got to tell you, man, I saw a picture of it today just out of the corner of my eye because I was scrolling through an article about that shit. And it's an ugly fucking building. Yeah,
it is. It's a cube.
Yeah.
Yes, it's vile.
Cube worship.
I don't know who designed it. And I'm not sure. I think there's a moat all the way around it. It's the first building in the UK to be built in the 20th century with a moat all the way around it.
It's probably the sewer system.
Maybe, yeah.
It's surrounded by an open cesspit.
Yeah, well,
what I'm saying here is that basically, since Trump's came into office, and I'm not bashing Trump because I know he's following the script, our allies are all giving us the finger except Israel.
I am bashing Trump because his ego is going to get a lot of our fucking boys killed.
He is, and the deal is we have no allies. Britain was our number one ally, and now they're telling Trump, we don't want your ass over here.
Because he's a shit-talking ego head. I wouldn't want him anywhere on my property either.
Well...
Go ahead, JR.
Yeah. No, I'm awfully... I'm awfully... Sorry if I interrupted, but... No. The Queen accepted George W. Bush. Okay? Now, that's saying something. If the Queen was happy to have George W. Bush over here for a state visit, and she's certainly not happy to have... Trump over here for a state visit, that says a lot about Trump.
Well, yeah, you know what it says? Trump would knock her down trying to get in front of the camera or grab her by her ass, He would
do something chippy, won't he? Yeah, well, no, but even George W. Bush was not the...
Bush was part of the cabal, though. I mean, Bush was part of the cabal. They're all playing on the same team. The Queen and the Bushes and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Trump's an outsider, right? He's got big money, and he's kind of part of the team, but he's not really, right? He's not vetted by them. They've never had him he's never gone to Bohemian Grove. He's never, you know what I mean? I don't know if he's, so he's not an insider. That is why the Queen accepted Bush coming over there and had him to the castle and all that crap, because they're on the same team.
Yeah, well,
Trump's kind of a rogue, I mean, he's doing what he's told for the most part, but he's still kind of rogue. And there's a lot of motherfuckers don't like him. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of heads of state out there that just flat don't like him.
Yep.
So.
Well, it's the way he's acting, though, isn't it?
It's because he's a fucking egomaniac. That's what I mean. He's going to. Yeah, go ahead.
Probably they don't want him.
No, fuck. Would you want him to come over for tea?
No way.
No.
Hey, I got a.
Would you like a spot of get the fuck out of here?
Hey, I got a quick question for you. Brenda asked me, why is not the Queen's husband the king?
Because
It's a matriarchy.
it's like, for example, the First Lady. Now, if Hillary Clinton was president, would that make Bill
Queen?
the first?
Here's the deal, man. Queen Elizabeth is from the Saxe-Coburn-Gotha line.
Yeah, German.
Okay?
German.
The jerk off that she married that looks like a walking skeleton, he's not. So it's the queen and the dumb shit. If he was in the bloodline, then it'd be the king and the lady, right? But he's not. So it's her.
I like Philip. He's okay.
Okay, so the Queen would have had to have married a brother of hers, right, to be a king?
No. It's all that. No.
That makes so much sense, Vaughn. You don't have any clue because of the way they keep their bloodlines together and shit, and they don't bring in outsiders. That makes so much sense, dude. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Mwah. Thank you.
No.
Oh shit, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying that's the whole reason that it's a matriarchy right now, and there won't be a king until one of the grandkids comes around and grabs the throne, right? Because I think it's skipping over her kid, Prince Charlie.
Charlie. I don't think it is skipping yet, but we'll have to find out.
No, I think they've already discussed that.
Is on the throne.
I read an article that said that they've already had that discussion over there in the royal family.
I'm not sure.
Charlie's not going to, because everybody knows that he's batshit crazy.
Well, he's batshit crazy about the environment and stuff, yeah.
He's batshit crazy, dude. The guy is a fucking baby-eating pedophile that hung out with Jimmy Savile, and he's batshit. They would never, ever, the people would never accept him as king. Never.
We'll have to wait and see what the outcome is. But for the time being, it's Elizabeth II.
Plus,
and
he married the little fat trumpet after they killed off his first wife, and she's an outsider too, so he will not be king.
Well, he hasn't abdicated yet. As
if Elizabeth dies, no, go ahead. I'm not there, so I don't know, man. Okay.
Well, what I'm basically saying is he hasn't put his card publicly up to say he is not going to be king in the scenario of either abdication by Elizabeth II, or if she sadly passes away, then there's been no news that he will not take over the role as king. But there is speculation that he might pass on the role to the next in line, which would be William. So it would be King William.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which I can see is a possible scenario. But I think King Charles would be a good king for this country, because
oh my God,
he has,
dude, you are so fucking brainwashed. I cry for you, dude. I cry for you. Yeah, you're brainwashed. Those people, in that fucking in that palace that you have running your entire life steal money from you, even though they're billionaires.
I know that, yeah.
And you want that.
No, I don't want that. I want.
You just said it. You just said that
monarchy.
Charles would. Fuck that shit, man. Go ahead.
I want the monarchy. I'm a pro-monarch. I'm not a Republican.
That's why I just said you are brainwashed beyond belief.
Okay, that's fine. That's my opinion.
Hey, JR. One more question. I'm sorry I got you into this one. One more question. Was there actually a big arrest on some kind of a storage area over there, and they found $400 million that belonged to the Clintons?
I thought it was to Obama.
I think that's Paris, isn't it? That heist or something. Are you talking about the heist in Paris or something?
No.
No, it's supposed to happen in England.
I don't know. I've not heard about that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I needed to know, because you would know, because you're there.
Yes, I know. Yeah, well, I haven't heard about that.
Hey, do you listen to Clips?
What?
Clips, that radio show
No,
on YouTube?
No, I don't. No.
The guy from Ireland, you don't listen to him? He's right there.
No, I don't.
With you. Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
All right.
There's millions of people on YouTube, man. I mean, there's millions of people on YouTube. So
I only listen to Jimmy.
you are lost, dude.
You ain't got a chance, JR.
Oh, shit. If I'm your only news source, my heart weeps for you.
No. It's okay. I got plenty of news sources. It's okay.
All right, carrying on. David, we're 40 minutes into the show. We've only covered 2 topics. Go for it.
What else do I have?
Lance, wake up over there.
Yeah, where'd Lance go?
He's back on the call, but he ain't said shit since he come back on. I guess he ain't gonna. Go ahead.
I can hear somebody bonging.
That was David. He's
All right.
vaping.
Oh, vaping. Oh, right.
Go ahead, Dave. I guess Lance is incognito at the moment.
No, I just went and got a glass of Kool-Aid.
Oh, drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
That makes 2 of you. All right, go ahead, David.
No, I'm not quite as.
Hey, what's going on with the? Let's get a little drop on the housing market really quick from your perspective. What's going on with the housing market? Is it still staying up there? They
booming here, man.
Is
booming here. Telling you, booming.
Make that money.
I mean, stuff's going for more than city assessment. Stuff's not staying on the market long if it's a decent price. But now, man, it's booming. Getting competing offers on properties. It's crazy because they're talking about raising interest rate 4 times this year. So that's helping spur the people, even though that those rates don't have anything to do with the 10-year bond. But
if it gets over, if they raise the rates and it gets over 2%, dude, we're done because we'd never be able to afford to pay the fucking interest payments on our debt.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I said that all of us will die, and you'll never see above a 6% fixed rate again ever in your life.
Nope.
I mean, my first 2 homes I bought at 7%, and I mean we'll never see 6% again on a 30-year fixed rate.
Nope.
Prices are too high now; it can't ever happen
unless there's a huge correction in the market. But I don't see that coming either.
Well, I mean, we know it's going to come, but
no, I think war will come first, and the war is going to be the end of it. So
let's bring this. I want to ask Lance about this economic stuff here. What's this? Walmart just gave all their employees this big raise and a bonus, and then they're shutting down all these Sams. Is Walmart hurting economically, or are they just shutting down these Sams to give these employees raises?
So from what I've understood, the Sam's Clubs that are closing. This is the article that I read. I can't remember where I read it, but it was in the last day. Most of them were already slated for closings because they can't compete with Price Club. So
Costco.
But I'm sorry, Costco. They can't compete with Costco. But they did say that, and it got me to thinking, I'm like, that's a lot of big vacant warehouse space, FEMA centers, so that's the first kind of my train of thought went to is now they've got even these bigger things than Walmart sometimes. But
all the products going to go right to the Walmart shelves. They're not going to lose out on the product. They'll sell the product through Walmart.
Yeah, because they're not closing the stores. They're closing the stores to the public because I guess most of them are going to be like shipping centers now or order and pickup centers or mini distribution centers, maybe for the other Walmarts. I don't know. But that's what I read is that most of them that are closing are still going to be owned by the Walmart family, just as mini distribution centers now, not something people can walk into anymore. So it doesn't sound to me like they're hurting.
Well, this one right across the river from me in Minnesota, they're shutting it down, and that one they're liquidating everything. They showed the news. People were lined up at 6 a.m. yesterday to get in there in 20 below degree weather. Go in there and empty that place out.
Well, they do that on Black Friday too. So
yeah, this is what this looked like. And the deal is we've got a Walmart or another Sam's here in Fargo right on the other side of the river. They could just come here, but instead they're trying to fight over stuff at that one when they could just come here and get it.
Mm-hmm. So my take is that they're just trying to make more money. So they're, cutting down some non-performing stores. And again, I can see the distribution network being better.
All about the Benjamins.
It's all about that. That's for sure. But apparently even the minimum wage had been announced a while ago. That they were working up there. It was supposed to go up like $1 an hour every year.
Shit, $11 a fucking hour is what they're giving them now.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know that any of it has to do with Trump as far as the hourly, but it sounds like the bonus part maybe.
I was working for construction crews putting roofs on houses and shit when I was younger for $11 an hour, man. Wow. But you know what they say. I mean, we've talked about it before too. If the wages kept up with the price of inflation, minimum wage right now would be about $22 an hour. So
well, it's like this, for example. I've got Dish TV satellite, and here my wife got a raise, but then here we get a notice in the bill that they're raising our bill by $5 a month starting next month. So how can cost of living? Every time you get a cost of living raise, your companies raise their prices on what you owe.
Hell yeah,
Dave.
So
you're not really making out,
Dave.
Yeah.
Have you tried contacting Dish and say, look, I'm not happy with this price. I want to cancel my contract. They should give you a 31-day cooling off period, like Sky do in the UK, and then
well, yeah, I did that.
Get
with
back
Verizon.
to you with discounts.
I did that with Verizon. They raised my bill, and I said, "Well, I'll just go to AT&T," and they knocked my bill way down. And I've done it. Yeah, well, I've done it with my internet service too. They raised my bill, but that this Dish, we're already paying too much. I mean, I'm getting rid of it and just. I don't watch TV that much anyway. My kids do though.
I went into my local provider for internet service and cable TV, and questioned them about the bill that I was receiving, and told them I wasn't happy with it, and I never watched TV anyway, so I think I'm just going to cancel. And
that's it, yeah.
Oh well, for like 3 months they told me if I switched from having a package deal to internet only, that it would cost me more just to have internet than it was internet and TV. And when I threatened to cancel everything, they said, "Oh, well, we can hook you up now with just internet only for $65 a month." Oh, okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and do that then? You should have done it 3 months ago when I started asking you about it, but yeah, go ahead and do it now.
Well, see, I called up Verizon. They were going to raise our phone bill, and I talked to them, and I ended up knocking my bill down plus getting unlimited data. I did only have 8 gigabytes, and my kids kept trying to use it all. So I said, "Well, I want to move up," and she said, "Well, we've got 16 here for this price, a little bit more than what you're paying now. Or we got this unlimited." And I ended up talking to them for an hour and got unlimited, got my bill knocked down.
That's it.
Keep watching that bill, though, man, because they'll try to sneak it up on you. Start adding extra fees and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's another thing, talking about bills and stuff. Since I moved into this place that I'm at now, I've put probably $40,000 into this house. New roof, more insulation, new windows, all kinds of stuff. And my bill doesn't seem to be going down any. It's kind of weird, Now that Mom's gone, I'm the only one in this house. And I don't have any fucking lights on in this house, usually. Even at night. Because I put enough windows in here, I get a bunch of daylight in, I put in a tankless water heater, so it's not sitting there running 24/7. I hardly use any power, but my power bill has stayed the same or gone up since I moved here. And I live
Why?
in a rural area where I don't get any wind because I got trees all around my house. This house stays. I keep my thermostat set on 70 in the winter. So I don't understand it. But and it's a co-op too. So I think next week I'm going to go down there and have a little talk with the people in the office and find out why they seem to think. Because I've never, I'm usually on this property unless I'm out doing sharpening stuff, and most of the time I'm on this property. I've never seen somebody come out and read my meter. They have to knock on the door to get in the backyard to read my meter. In 4 years, I've never seen a soul out here reading my meter.
Ours are GPS here.
I don't have a fucking smart meter here. This is an old analog.
They just drive down the street here.
This is an old analog unit. It's got the little wheelie dealie that goes around. So
it might be an idea to have a metered tariff. So see, if you don't use it a lot, so see what it sounds like is you are on a constant tariff. So it sounds as though you're paying
I never signed
certain amount of money each month to.
No, because the bill goes up and goes down. It's not a one. I don't have a one constant bill. It goes up and goes down. That's what I'm saying. In the summertime,
what we do.
Well, that's not me.
I know.
But it sounds
be on a
almost
tariff.
like it's when the city raises or lowers your city assessment
on city property.
They raise your tax rate, so they make the same amount of money.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. That's I never signed up for any kind of billing project thing, whatever. I didn't sign up for any of that. I pay my bill when I pay my bill. But I got questions about my bill now.
Pop down and have a word with them then.
Yeah. And here's another thing. My taxes go to take care of 2 separate dams that are right here. They're hydroelectric dams, right? They produce power. My taxes go to pay for those, for the maintenance on that shit. But all that power gets shipped out of state. They actually buy their power from an out-of-state power company to feed these houses around here. What kind of fucking sense does that make?
Are you allowed in the United States to search online for an energy provider like we can in the UK?
No.
No.
You have certain companies in your area, and they have certain districts that they serve.
Right. See, I don't know the actual. I don't know the way that the United States works in the way of power and energy. In the UK,
it's a fucking ripoff. So
yeah, well, it's the same in the UK. Hence, but what we can do in the UK is shop around online and get good deals, or we can phone up with a energy provider, an independent energy provider, and we can negotiate a good deal with them.
Who owns the infrastructure, though? I mean, that's basically who provides your power, is whoever put the fucking power poles and the shit in the ground or whatever, you know what I mean? That's your provider. I don't understand how you can have multiple providers on one set of infrastructure, because they don't all own the infrastructure. Somebody owns the infrastructure. They lease it from them or what? I don't get that.
Yeah, I think it's lease at a cost rate, and then they provide it to the customers at a discount price, or at a price which they deem to be acceptable. It's a bit like the internet service providers in the United Kingdom. It's all owned by BT. It's all BT lines. Yeah. They just have a contract with BT.
The internet provider around here is the sole provider around here. If you want cable internet, other than that, you got to go satellite. So there's only one provider. Everybody's got a fucking monopoly around here.
Well, it's the same in the UK. It's called BT, or British Telecom. And talking about business, and in the UK, if you want to follow something, there's a company called Carillion, which was better known as Tarmac. That is about to probably go into administration or receivership, and that controls a lot of shit in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, so it's all going to get bought by the Crown?
Not yet.
The Crown owns the banks, dude. So, yeah.
It's all going to be owned by the Crown. It's going to go to creditors, possibly. They've lined up.
And they all live in the city of London, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah. or
That's what I'm
asset
saying.
strippers.
It's a big club, but you ain't in it. Thanks, George Carlin.
Yeah, so that's a bit of big business news in the UK to follow if you're interested in that.
Okay. We got way off in rabbit holes and shit, but that's okay. That's kind of what this show's about. Go ahead, David. Next headline.
Oh, what else? Yeah, this come out. It says, Nuclear Bluff Assertion speaks of Indian Army chief's immaturity, says ISPR. And it says, it started out.
This is India and Pakistan?
Yeah. And it started out where the other day where India's Army chief, general, said that the force was ready to call Pakistan's nuclear bluff and cross the border to carry out any operation if asked by the government. And so Pakistan came out and said, what do you say here? It says he said that statements like this are coming from a person of a responsible stature. And it says, we call the nuclear bluff of Pakistan.
Oh.
Says if we really have to confront a task is given to us, we're not going to say we cannot cross the border because they have nuclear weapons. We will have to call their nuclear bluff.
Didn't India just put their 35th satellite or something in orbit today to watch the borders?
Yep.
If you believe that the satellites are real.
No one says a lot about these two countries, but they get closer to nuclear war every day too. They could, a big war could start out there at any given moment. This place has always been hot.
I think it's probably down to what Trump said about Pakistan, and stopping aid to Pakistan because of their support for a militant group there.
Oh, it's not because of their shithole status? That's cool.
Well, it is a shithole as well.
It is a shithole? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Well, don't you guys own that? No, India. What?
We own both. They are both part of the Commonwealth.
Well, why is it a shithole then? Your queen has billions. Why doesn't she dump some cash over there?
Because we tend go towards India.
Oh, okay. Playing favorites and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right.
And why the hell does India need more cash from us if they're putting satellites up?
I'm pretty sure.
It's like those women with dots on their forehead.
Hey, they're easy to spot in the crowd. Go ahead, David.
China today launched a land resources exploration satellite.
Man.
And it was their 263rd mission of the Long March Carrier rocket series. And they launched that today.
Trying to poke holes in the firmament.
What else?
Any word on our supposed secret spy satellite that got lost to the Never Never Land?
Yeah, I really haven't heard anything else on it,
Yeah, that was what, $4 billion or something? $40 billion? I don't know how much it cost, but damn. 100 million, 100 billion? I don't know. They just add zeros on a computer anymore, so what difference does it make, right? You guys will build another one and shoot it off too, right? Charge the taxpayers. Okay.
Sitting here looking at this thing, just came across Twitter. Someone's flashing shithole across Trump's D.C. hotel real big. That shithole on.
That's beautiful, man.
Right into the main entrance of a shithole's real big up there.
That's beautiful.
Superimposing it on there from some lights.
Did you hear about that fire on? I think it was a Trump Tower. I think one person was seriously hurt.
Two. Yep.
Ooh.
And then I think one guy had a heart attack while he was up there trying to fight the fire.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know.
Oh jeez.
But there was the tower card on the front of the Economist magazine, and the tower card is burning on top. So there you go.
That was 2017, wasn't it? That predicted that was going to happen, and it's awful funny how it took place.
Mm-hmm.
Predictive programming.
Yep. They got us by the short hairs. We were born into this shit, man. You know? It took the last 10 years for most of us to wake up to what the fuck is really going on.
Well, it's been happening for ages and ages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been going.
In fact, it's...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. It's basically, in my opinion, it's been happening since World War II. So, see, it was perfected in World War II by the, the propaganda machine, and then it's been carried on and carried on. I think it's Operation Paperclip or something like that.
Yeah, that's the new part of it.
Yeah,
we brought all the, after World War II, we brought all the good Nazis over here. So.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the propaganda machine has continued, and they've refined it. And now they're using psychological bullshit with them.
Yeah, because they've already been doing the fluoride in the water forever.
Yeah. And they're
spraying the skies with chemicals and shit.
Hive mining from things like social media, and they're using things like Watson to gather everything together to give them data and shit like that.
Oh, Watson's, dude, that Watson's old hat. They've got way bigger computers now. They got the D-Wave. They got Sophia that's tapped into the fucking entire internet. Yeah, so Watson's old hat. Watson's still playing Jeopardy.
Yeah. Yeah, but the basic principle was there in the old
days. That was
days.
like
Watson
Deep Blue.
Was the key cutting edge.
Yeah, but you had Sherlock Holmes, man. We had Dick Tracy.
Elementary.
Is there any British superheroes? I don't think you guys even have any superheroes, do you? We got them all.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
He's not a superhero.
No,
he was a fucking cop. He was a cokehead cop at that.
No, he's a detective. No, opium.
Opium.
They got Wanker Man.
Wanker
Pink
Man.
Panther. Pink Panther is a superhero.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's it. Wanker Man. Better known as Tony Blair.
Good one, Jerry. That was
Tony
awesome,
Blair,
Jerry.
that's hilarious.
That was awesome. Love having you on, brother. All right, go ahead, David. What else you got over there? We're into the second hour, so now we're legal to go down rabbit holes.
Hey.
All right, U.S. ultimatum on nuclear deal. New sanctions draw Iran threat. It says Iran said on Saturday it would retaliate against new sanctions imposed by the United States after President Donald Trump set an ultimatum to fix the disastrous flaws in the deal curbing Tehran's nuclear program. Trump said on Friday he would waive nuclear sanctions on Iran for the last time to give the United States and European allies a final chance to amend the pact. Washington also imposed sanctions on the head of Iran's judiciary and others. Russia, one of the parties to the Iran pact, alongside the U.S., China, France, Britain, Germany, and European Union, called Trump's comments extremely negative. It says the ultimatum puts pressure on Europeans, key backers of the 2015 nuclear deal, to satisfy Trump, who wants the pact strengthened with a separate agreement within 120 days. And so, Trump's putting out the word, trying to be the big boss man. Oh, Europe, if you don't strengthen this stuff up, America's going to drop out of it. And, by this next round, he ups it like every 6 weeks or something like that.
Hey, fucking drop out, man. Good. It'll save us some cash. At this point, I'm full on for isolationism for a little while. I'm full on ready for some isolationism for a little while. If we're going to keep this fucking country together, we got to start taking care of everything at home before we go giving money to anybody abroad.
And anyway, this also came out. It says, Iran's foreign minister came out and said that the deal was non-negotiable and that Trump's move amounts to desperate attempts to undermine a solid mutual multilateral agreement. Iran says its nuclear program has only peaceful aims and says it will stick to the accord as long as others respect it. But it has said it would shred the deal if Washington quits. Iran also came out when we put the sanctions on their judiciary guy. Iran described the sanctions on Larijani, which is the guy we put him on, as a hostile action, and says that the move crossed all red lines of conduct in the international community and is a violation of international law and will surely be answered by a serious reaction of the Islamic Republic. He did not specify what any retaliation might involve.
Yep.
Well, maybe mining the Straits of Hormuz, who knows?
Well, I mean, they're getting everything prepped for after the Olympics, right?
Oh, yeah. They're still full speed ahead with this, and I agree with you, this North Korea thing, it's a lull right now, but Little Kim's not going to get rid of his nukes. He's not going to do it.
Nope.
No matter what, and Little Kim's trying to pull South Korea away from America right now. That's exactly what he's doing, and South Korea's going for it. And I don't blame them.
China's the one that's doing that, too. China's in his ear. I don't care what anybody says. China's in Little Kim's ear every fucking day, telling him what's going down. All their intelligence and shit's flowing his way. They're going to let him know if there's an imminent strike because they've got ears inside of our fucking government. So, this is all whatever.
Oh, you're absolutely right with that, man. And, right now it's just a little time of peace with the Olympics and everything, couple reach arounds, and then back to normal after.
And this is all prophesied, people. This whole time in history is in your Bible if you pick it up and read it. There's going to be a time of peace, and then there's going to be a time of destruction. Oh, yeah, I got to... Are you back yet, JR? No, okay, I'll wait. They're making a lot of comments in the room about superheroes, too. They're saying that the Queen's a superhero because she's really 500 years old. Doctor Who, Benny Hill, that's Vaughn's take right there. Monty Python was also thrown in there as a superhero over in Britain, so yeah, I agree. That troop of humans was funny as hell. So was the Benny Hill gang. They were funny people.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Read the chat. They're all giving you props, man. They're giving you all kinds of superheroes. Monty Python, Benny Hill, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. We got Benny Hill. We got Dudley Moore. Peter Cook.
Dudley Moore.
Peter
I
Cook.
don't know if I'd consider him a superhero.
No, well, I would say Peter Cook's a good comedian.
Yeah, Doctor Who was a good one. Doctor Who, yeah. All right.
James Bond, 007.
Of course, there you go. Vaughn is the top man. There you go. You can't beat a better James Bond.
But he's not real, right? I mean, I don't know if he was based on somebody that worked for MI6 or I don't know, but yeah. Bond's not real, like all the rest of them, Benny Hill and Monty Python, and Doctor Who's not really real either, but he's been around forever. Oh. Okay, I'll give you James Bond too, but you still can't beat Batman. You got all them fucking billionaires down in London, and not one of them motherfuckers is Batman. Just saying, one of them could throw on a black suit and make some really cool shit and go around saving people for every once in a while, but no. Moving on swiftly. Go ahead, David.
This is a little bit different. This came out. It says Las Vegas shooter's girlfriend says she handled his ammo, helped him load magazines, unsealed documents say. And it says the girlfriend of the Las Vegas shooter told authorities that they would likely find her fingerprints in some of Stephen Paddock's bullets because she sometimes assisted him in loading ammunition into magazines.
That's so much horse shit, dude.
It says there was no evidence at the time of criminal involvement for her. An October 3rd document show, but it noted that investigators had not ruled out the possibility. It says officials also reportedly sought the email, Facebook, and Instagram accounts of her, who was in the Philippines during the October 1st shooting. Then it also came out that emails Paddock had exchanged after buying his rifles and bump stocks months before he carried out the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history. He uses, they're saying, the bump stock, whatever. It said the document said Paddock had received an email from a Gmail account in July encouraging him to try an AR-style rifle before buying one. The email said, "We have a huge selection in the Las Vegas area."
This is so
Paddock
much bullshit, dude.
wrote back, what's that?
This is so much bullshit, dude. You know, this entire story is bullshit.
It says Paddock wrote back that he wanted to try several scopes and different types of ammunition. An email in response suggested trying a bump stock in the rifle with a 100-round magazine. Paddock's email address and the Gmail address had similar names, leading investigators to suspect that he may have been emailing himself, although they couldn't figure out why. FBI agents reportedly knew that Paddock had left behind big caches of guns, ammunition, explosives when they sought warrants to search his properties and online accounts. They said, as of right now, they still don't have any more updates on his motive.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Oh, I don't think he did either.
No. It's been proven so far, just from the pictures that they've released of the crime scene, supposedly, that all the rounds that went through the door went from the hallway into the room. They were just assassinating whoever was standing behind that door. And there was quite a few people that work in the hotel that said that they were in and out of that room on the week of the shooting, just days before this all took place, and they saw nothing in there. No guns, no ammunition, no nothing. So this entire story is horse shit. It's horse shit.
Yeah, and one thing that raises a flag as well. He used Gmail. Now, if he's using Gmail, the NSA must have been all over that. See, I wouldn't touch Gmail to send any sensitive information, like was reported in that article that they just read out.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe anything. The entire thing was hinky from the very start, and listening to the sheriff run his gob on the microphone and all the bullshit he was pushing. None of this is real.
They should have security video footage
everything.
Of how all that stuff got in the room eventually.
Everything.
Even if it was one suitcase at a time.
Yeah, because there's cameras all over the ends. That's a casino, for fuck's sake. They got cameras everywhere. It's horseshit. Anything that you hear coming out of the mainstream media is horseshit. If you guys really want to know what's going on in Vegas, go to a YouTube channel. He changed the name. It used to be End Times News Report. It's now called Blackstone Investigations, I think, or something. What is it? What is it now, David? I know you're
I can't think of the exact name, but I've heard a lot of the helicopter theory really being out there.
Yeah, there's footage. He's got footage of some chick that was in the crowd and has on tape somebody in the crowd shooting with a handgun during the whole incident. So this is a complete horse shit. And it's going to come out. It's going to come into the light, just like all you fucking pedophiles on Capitol Hill are going to get outed. It's all going to come out. You guys are going to go down. When Hillary Clinton said, if that son of a bitch gets in office, we're all going to swing from nooses, that was more prophetic than you could ever imagine. I think that this is the year that the people finally come to terms and accept the depth of the corruption that's going on in our government. And they have enough.
I don't think they'll do anything about it, though, Jimmy.
You're asleep, though.
They won't wake up. Mainstream media doesn't talk about it.
And also, people won't get off their fat arse and walk in the streets.
Hey, I tweeted that out today.
Corruption.
I tweeted that out today, actually. Thank you for reminding me about that, JR. I tweeted that very thing out today. I tweeted out, and I don't know, Twitter probably pulled it down, but I tweeted out, if you think for any reason that you're living, that, if your state, country, town, whatever property is considered a shithole, then get off your fucking ass and do something about it. I was talking to everybody. People in Detroit, people in filthy Delphia, people in D.C., people in foreign countries. If if for whatever reason your country or whatever is being considered to be a shithole, then do something about it.
The thing is, Jimmy, they won't. And the reason is, they are too preoccupied with internet, Facebook, Twitter, and also
trying to pay their bills.
They're too overweight from eating junk food and stuff like that. You know, they haven't got the energy to do it. They're being controlled by junk food, basically.
Yeah, and programming through their televisions and
exactly.
Yeah. I know.
Both go hand in hand. You know.
But eventually, I don't know. We'll leave it there. Go
Is
ahead,
it
Dave.
okay if I jumped down a small rabbit hole?
Sure, go ahead.
I was watering the horse about 5 minutes ago, right? And as I was watering that horse, I had a thought to myself. When I left, Dave was talking about Iran and the sanctions on Iran and the fact that Trump. I'm awfully sorry, Bush. Trump.
They're all cut from the same cloth, man. Don't worry about it.
And he's waived the sanctions with regard to the nuclear deal, but he's put extra sanctions on Ayatollah Ali al-Rajani or somebody. Or one of the Ayatollahs anyway. And Iran weren't very happy. And then I thought to myself, okay, Iran is not developing any nuclear fusion or missile technology.
They have never. Yeah.
They haven't.
Nope.
But have you noticed the increase in the amount of nuclear and missile technology in North Korea? What I'm thinking is Iran is funding North Korea as a surrogate country to run their nuclear weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Program.
We've said that before on here too.
Yeah.
Iran's giving them technology, China's giving them technology and letting them play with it.
Yeah. And so Iran are looking like the goodies. And North Korea is looking like the baddies. But all of the funding is coming from Iran and China to a certain extent, but because they are close allies. Mm-hmm. But Iran is using North Korea as a surrogate for their weapons program.
Yeah. David, you want to add to that? David?
North Korea just put out some statements just now.
Oh.
And from their KCNA, state news media. And
is that the little chick in the light blue outfit that talks really heavy?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And
she's funny to watch, man. She's funny to watch.
Because the Olympics, we've got the one, not just because of the Olympics. I mean, we've sent the Carl Vinson is on its way there off to Korea's, and it's there basically in case anything goes down during the Olympics. We've got a carrier sitting off North Korea's coast. And then after the Olympics, it's going to, I don't know how long it's going to hang around after that, but then it's heading toward the Persian Gulf to replace the one that's already there so the other one can come back home. Well, there's other countries that are sending ships that way too for the same reason, to protect their athletes in case something goes down.
Let me guess. Britain?
Well, all different ones. It's up to any country can do it.
Oh, so there's just going to be like the Pacific Ocean is going to be half full of war ships for a couple of weeks while the Olympics. Oh, that's going to be good.
Well, this is a statement.
Don't stay the fuck away from our boats, people, because our boats have a tendency to get holes shoved in them by other boats when they're on the Pacific waters. So y'all stay away from our boats. They're expensive. We don't want no fucking damage.
This is what the KCNA just said. It says, U.S. is showing the sign of moving its sea and air forces massively to and around the Korean Peninsula. This mischievous behavior is aimed to chill the hard-won atmosphere for improving the ties between the North and the South of Korea and ruin the nation's great event. Then they went on to say, whenever the North and South make dialogues and contacts and there showed the sign of improving the ties, the U.S. worked with bloodshot eyes to check it. Then they come out and says is when talking the sailing speed of Carl Vinson into account, it is estimated to enter the waters of the Korean Peninsula toward the end of January or early in February, just before the opening of the Olympics. Then they finally says all these moves of the U.S. remind one of a wolf scrolling outside a banqueting house, and they become a good target for the Hwasong artillerymen of the DPRK who have put Guam and even the U.S. mainland in their striking range.
Yeah, we got bombers sitting in Guam.
Yeah, we just flew 3 of them out there.
Yeah.
B-2s.
B-2s. Yep. Yeah, B-2s, yeah.
And so basically North Korea is telling us, we don't, you want these talks to go over, well, you need to turn that Carl Vinson around. We don't want it off our coast, even if it's for the Olympics. And so, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen here. We knew sailing this carrier over there while these talks are going down would stir shit up. We knew it.
Man, it's only been a matter of weeks since we had all 3 of the fucking things over there. So this is so much drama.
We've got the Reagan over there. We've got the Reagan there too, but it's forward deployed in Japan, so it's constantly over there in that part of the world. So sending the Vinson now, makes us have 2 of them over there now.
Right.
And North Korea don't like that, and I knew they wouldn't. I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, here they are having talks. And I understand us wanting to protect our athletes. I understand no matter wherever the Olympics are held in the world, we always send ships that way, just in case. You never know. In case we have to evacuate foreign nationals, in case we have to evacuate athletes. I mean, you go back to when our athletes were where was that? Where our athletes were getting executed there, that one Olympics.
Atlanta.
No, that was the stupid ass.
No, it was Munich.
Yeah, Munich.
Yeah.
Munich.
And so ever since then, we send our military wherever the Olympics are. And everybody does, not just us.
But that was Mossad killing people over there in Munich, man. So and trying to blame it on Iran. So that's they know what's going to happen before it happens, brother. The only reason they push those boats around like they do is because they want their firepower where they want it.
Yeah, they just gives them a reason. Oh, it's only here for the Olympics.
Yeah, it's a big show of force, man. Look at my penis.
Well, if you think about it, the United States had a big warship in the Thames when the London Olympics were on. So it's not unprecedented.
No. Look at my penis. That's all it is. Like Dave just said, every time there's an Olympics overseas or something, we send one of our boats.
Yeah, we've always got a carrier in that general direction. Like when we had the Olympics over in Sochi, the Winter Olympics, we had a carrier right over by there.
Yep.
And it was nice to see a big aircraft carrier sail up the Thames. It was lovely. It was nice.
But they during the Sochi Olympics, they actually asked Russia permission to enter their waters because they were. Yeah. So
that's fair enough.
Big difference. Well, I mean, they're not off the coast of North Korea, so I don't know. Territorial shit.
Yeah, they're in the territorial waters.
Yeah. The thing is, the Russians don't ask permission to sail down the channel.
Right.
Yeah, they should do.
I know I feel a lot safer going to the Olympics now.
You got your tickets already? Oh, okay. What's next?
Well, this just came out. It says at least 11 people wounded in MLK Day weekend shootings across Chicago.
Well, isn't that a surprise?
It's a shithole.
It's a shithole. I agree with that 150%. As someone that used to live in that piece of shit state, it's a shithole. A liberal shithole.
In that Obama stomping grounds?
Yep.
Fucking what's his name there? The mayor there?
Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, Emanuel. Well, I can't stand that guy, man.
That's why I always call it Rom Kago. You know, never let a good crisis go to waste, Rom. Better jump on this. Get your face on TV, man. Start saying something. Because you know you love to hear yourself talk.
Have you heard about Steve Bannon as well?
What about him? He's a nobody.
He's a
nobody.
He's what he is now. So he's stepped down as the head of Breitbart, hasn't he?
So what? He was a nobody when he was the head of Breitbart. He was a nobody when he was in Obama's cabinet. Didn't you hear Obama say that? Or Obama. Didn't you hear Trump say that? He was just a member. He was just a member of my team.
Yeah. Well,
he wasn't the.
See what Israel had to say about that?
Not like he was the guy that got you in office. You know.
Exactly. He'll say otherwise to that. See, I think he was the mainstay for Trump. You know, he was the key person to.
I think that Steve Bannon
changed the minds of people.
I think that Steve Bannon is going to have an accident really soon. I do. He'll die. Listen to me. You see his nose. Every time you see him on camera, you see his nose. Okay, that's a dead giveaway that somebody's got a bad drinking problem. All right. So what's going to happen to Steve Bannon is he's probably going to die in some kind of drunk driving car crash. Because that's
a heart attack.
Well, whatever, or cirrhosis of the liver. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if he keeps running his fucking gums the way he's doing right now, he's going to wind up having an accident real soon.
Well, you know what he did here? He went running to Mueller. He enlisted the same lawyer that two of the other people under investigation there, I think Gates and Manafort, or is it Flynn, Manafort, one of them. Anyway, he's got the same lawyer the other two have. And the only way and these other two have already flipped.
Yep.
And so for him to have the same lawyers these two that flipped, he had to flip. And so he went running straight to Mueller after Trump basically said he lost his mind. And he went running right to Mueller. He knows a lot of dirt on Trump, man. Yep. And whether he's going to make shit up or not, who fucking knows? But he knows some shit. And
that's what I'm saying. He's going to wind up having a fucking accident really quick, man.
You know, Trump messed up by excommunicating with him. Your friends can make some of your worst enemies if shit goes to shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Omarosa's book.
Who's that?
Oh, Omarosa, the black lady from The Apprentice that's in his cabinet that's leaving next month. Yeah. I can't wait for her book.
I always thought she was a guy in disguise.
She is very manly.
I like to see her and Michael Obama go at her.
Okay. Yeah, Steve Bannon. I hope you hired some really good security, brother. I really, really do.
It'd be interesting if we could actually get Steve Bannon on the show.
Never happen. I'll send him an email. No. I mean, if he's got an email available to the public still, I'll send him an email. But I doubt he'll ever come on.
Ask him, come on, yeah. Shit. It'd be great.
I got less than 200 subscribers. I'm only 6 away, though. He'll look at that and
go, okay.
There couldn't be any anti-Semitism talk around him, though.
Oh, yeah. As long as he ain't the synagogue of Satan, I'm cool with him being a Jew.
There's nothing wrong with Jews.
My savior's a Jew. Go ahead, David.
Is there any auto mechanics in here? Anybody know anything about cars?
I know a little bit. I'm not a mechanic, but I know a little bit. What?
I got an electrical issue with my SUV I'm trying to figure out.
What is it?
Well, you know, it's been fucking below zero here for days now. Well, really weeks, but, you know, we've had a couple little breaks, but not much. And it's been yesterday, you know, I dropped my kid off at school. I'm driving down the road. All of a sudden, my whole dash panel goes dark. My gauges go off. My radio goes off. My heater goes off.
Your alternator rather is going bad.
My ABS light came on.
Yeah, your alternator is going bad, Chief.
Well, you know, so I get home. I turn it off. I go to restart it, and all of a sudden the gauges start making a clicking sound. Click, click, click. It's a 2005 Ford Escape.
Yep.
And so I said, I'm like, fuck. So I go inside for a couple hours, come back out. It starts right up. Gauges are on. Everything's working fine. I let it run for about 20 minutes. Worked perfect. Turned it off. Come out this morning, turned it on, let it run for 10 minutes. Same thing happened. Dash went off. Heater went off. Radio went off. ABS light came on. Same thing with the gauges. Click, click, click. So I let it set. Come back out a couple hours later. Starts right up again tonight. And let it run for about 10, 15 minutes. Same thing happened. Heat went off. Everything went off. And the car stays running the whole time, even after the panel goes off. But tonight, though, it did something different. After the panel went off, it did it a couple times. It flickered. It'd come on, go off, come on, the gauges and everything. And then all of a sudden, the car went off on its own.
Well, the relay, your solenoid, or not your solenoid, but your the part that regulates your regulator that regulates the voltage to your battery is going bad in your alternator. So when you let it sit, your battery is a good battery. It charges back up itself. It goes back up to 12.
It builds a service charge. But here's the thing about that, though. I don't think that the car could run for any length of time on just the battery. If the alternator's completely out, if it's not pushing enough to keep the battery charged and run the car, the battery will die within a matter of 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, but doesn't the battery run accessory parts? Gasoline runs the motor.
It's overcharging the battery. That's why the lights flicker, because they don't know what to do with the voltage. You need to take it and have somebody go to an AutoZone or AutoWorks or Kelly or O'Reilly or somebody and let them put a tester on it and test. I guarantee it's your alternator. Guarantee.
Well, someone told me that when it's as cold as this and I'm driving on ice and snow every day, that there's so many on these newer cars. It's a 2005, the computer system, and it says all it takes is like one sensor to get ice on it or get really cold. It'll throw the whole thing off, too.
Yeah, but it sounds like your alternator.
Yeah, I was thinking it could be alternator, but, it's like I said. Yesterday I let it run for 20 minutes. It didn't do a thing. Tonight I let it run for 10 minutes, and it started screwing off.
I know this is going to seem way out, but hang on a second. I know this is going to seem way out, but I'm going to ask you, do you have any rodent problems in your house where maybe a mouse got up into your wiring or something? No,
I don't have any of that. It's too cold, too. It's like 40 below zero.
Well, but you're parking the thing inside a garage, yeah?
No, my wife's car's in there. Mine's is out in the driveway. Mine sits. See, that's why it's so cold. It's been sitting out in this sub-zero weather for 3 weeks straight.
Oh shit!
Okay,
it's the alternator.
Go out tomorrow.
Probably the bearings went out of it.
Tomorrow and start the vehicle. Start the vehicle tomorrow, and turn on your headlights and your heater on high. If you look up at your voltage meter for your battery, if it starts discharging,
I don't have a voltage meter.
This is just idiot lights in that car.
You got a what for a 2005? You got a gen light?
I don't have a voltage meter, man.
You don't got nothing?
No,
it's just idiot lights in those cars.
No, my Volvo doesn't either.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck it is, man.
Your Volvo. Let's just say his Volvo.
Yeah, man, I got a Volvo.
Nothing wrong with Volvo. It's good. Swedish technology.
Yeah, man. No, it's the S60 5-cylinder turbo. It's a sporty one.
And it doesn't have a battery. Shows your battery charger.
Nope. Doesn't have a temperature gauge either.
Wow.
Well, someone told me it was like the cables on my battery could have corrosive under it, or it could have ice or something like that.
Yeah, that's your alternator.
And that's an easy way to check if your alternator's out is just to take the cable off, one of the cables off your battery after the car's running.
Negative side, Saint said in the chat room, take it off while it's running.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's kind of hard to go out there and do any kind of work when it's fucking 20 below zero, man.
That's why you have sons.
Pep boys and let them do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have kids. Go out there and check on Dad's car. That's what my dad always told me, man. When he got tired of doing chores, he adopted me.
No, that's good.
Actually, about 10 years before he got tired.
No, that's good. So he teaches the kids on how to do stuff.
I'd send them out there. That's an easy check. Here, take the keys, go out there, start the van up. And after the van's up, pop the hood and take the negative cable off of the battery for me. Let me know what happens.
I say, yeah, job done. I've done it.
And don't freeze to death while you're doing it, son. 40 below, dude. That's some fucking cold. And you're getting old now, man. You need.
Well,
to
that's
move
what I
down
mean.
south.
You know, you're talking about if it's my alternator, but that's where I'm having a problem with the alternator. Is how would my battery recharge with it being 20 below zero outside? There's no way it could recharge.
No.
And that's what I mean when it comes to what could be the alternator. Well, that doesn't make any sense then because the battery wouldn't recharge because it's so fucking cold there.
Well, that's not necessarily true either. I mean, the alternator could be putting out 11.9 volts, just not enough to keep all your shit running in the, just enough to charge the battery back up, not to keep everything else running in the car. Average cars take probably 30 amps of electricity to run, depending on what all kind of electronic shit.
Well, it doesn't happen either until the car gets warmed up. Once the car gets warmed up is when it's been happening. But like I said, it didn't happen to me yesterday, and I let it run for 20 minutes. It didn't happen. Today, I let it run for 10 minutes, and it happened.
Yeah. Time to take it to Pep Boys. I mean, I know you don't got a shitload of money, but $35 to get it diagnosed because they got bare machines there. They can just clamp it onto your shit.
I'll take it somewhere. I don't think we have a Pep.
Should they have 3 diagnoses here?
Do they?
I don't think we have
AutoZones, Pep Boys, yeah.
I don't know if we got an AutoZone. We ain't got no Pep Boys, I don't think.
AutoZone and what's the
O'Reilly's?
other one? Tread Quarters or something like that.
O'Reilly's?
Advanced Auto Parts.
And I just thought I'd ask before I take it to a mechanic and get bent over the fucking table.
PMG
I
said
would do that. That way you can verify what it is before you jump that loop.
I'm just afraid to drive it too far. I'm afraid it might die on me and I won't get it started again.
Oh, that's the other question. You got any of those guys that you know well enough to come out with a meter and test it for you?
No, I don't know anybody, man.
Oh, man, Dave, you're too sheltered.
How long is that? How long have you had that battery in that car?
2 years.
Yeah. But the temperatures you guys go through, man, 2 years might be all you get out of a battery.
I had to change the battery on the truck out here, man. I went out. It was real cold. I'm serious. This is no joke. It was 20 below real feel. I went out and started that sumbitch. Well, I tried to start it. It just went flat out. So I get the Jeep, go down and buy a new battery. After I removed the battery and took it over to him and said, take this, what the hell is it, Delco, whatever the hell it was, battery with a little green light, because it was black. I said, take this and give me a Deca battery. Brought it home, stuck it in there, and that son of a gun took off like it was springtime. That's the difference of having a good battery and a good system.
And this also might sound daft as well. Living up in North Dakota, where it's bloody cold, I wouldn't go with a modern car because there's more electrics in a modern car than there is in an old car, say, probably pre-80s. So say go with something in the 70s. Okay, it's a gas guzzler, but you've got the reliability there.
Yeah, you need
less electrics.
You need a Roots Arrow with a 5-speed transmission, 4-cylinder. Right there, JR. Roots Arrow, English car. Best thing going. I had one. Loved that car.
It's a bit like the Kohler engine or a Briggs & Stratton engine compared to a modern-day Chinese knockoff Honda. Okay?
I just use a horse like the Native Americans did.
Where Dave's at, that'd almost be cheaper. Keep a horse in the fucking backyard, feed it some hay and shit, and keep it warm. They can trudge through snow about 4 feet deep, man.
And also, if it's
I do got to tell you,
You might
JR's
need
got
to
a good
change your
idea.
oil.
JR's got a good idea. The older vehicles you got that you can work on yourself, especially in conditions like that you're living in, I would want something that I could pull in the fucking garage after the old lady goes to work and fix the sumbitch myself. You know what I mean? All this electronic horse shit is just more shit to go wrong.
Yeah.
I wish I lived close by you, Dave. I'd come over to help you out, brother. But
I would too, man.
A hog.
I don't know shit about cars, man. I know how to do the basic stuff, and that's it, man. Especially when it comes to electronics on cars these days. I don't know a damn thing.
Hey, man, if you can find out what's wrong with it, you can find a video on YouTube that'll show you how to fix it yourself. I can promise you
The
that.
deals with me, I can't use my hands, so.
You got kids, man.
Yeah,
You got kids that are old enough to have some common sense and shit and be able to do what you tell them to do. Grab that fucking wrench and go over there and do that and do. Yep. You got kids. That's called advancing their skill sets.
Exactly. That's what I said. It'll teach them something to do.
Right.
I just want to find out what's wrong with it first, you know.
I feel you, man. It's frustrating as hell when you can't drive something.
There's one more headache I don't need, you know, because me and my wife's lives are based off of 2 cars. So we get down to 1 car, it throws everything into a circle. You know, she's got to get back and forth to work. Kids got to get to school at different times, and it's just a mess, man. Because that means I'll have to start driving my wife to work, dropping her off, picking her up, dropping her, and that, you know, that sucks too.
Hunt said something that's very, very pertinent to this whole conversation. Don't trust interstate batteries anymore. Interstate batteries used to be the best batteries on the market. They were like diehards back in the day. Sears diehard, because they were made by Interstate. Those, man, you couldn't kill those batteries, but they are pieces of shit now. The best battery on the market right now is Optima battery. Get the right size for your engine, your horsepower needs, and go from there, man.
They have the ones with the red tops too, right? They have a red
top, yellow top, blue top for yellow.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I had the red top in my Corvette.
They're like a little 6-pack. They got little round cylinders. You know. Yep.
The 6-pack, that's what they call them. The 6-pack in a yellow container, or the red container. I like the yellow one myself.
I got a red top for my truck, so. But I put Optimas in my boat, in my everything I can put them in. You know.
Can't you insulate the battery from the cold? Like put some insulation around it, like some foam or
Unless
something.
you have heat added to that insulation.
I've got that around there. I don't think it's my battery. I think it's something else, man.
See, the cold will affect the electrics, and it will affect the battery.
That's what I'm saying. You know, when you're living in below zero weather like me, and it's really been cold this winter, you know, I'm sure it affects that electronics in any way.
Everything shrinks, man. All the contacts are going to shrink.
Yeah.
If you got something that's just barely
That's what I'm saying. All it takes is one contact to go screwy, and it throws the whole system off.
That's why I'd be under that.
Relay, it might be a capacitor, or it might be something.
But I just noticed
what
I've noticed though is it doesn't happen until the car warms up after about 10 minutes. That's when it happens.
It's cold. It's going to be the cold.
Like I said, it didn't do it last night, and I ran it for 20 minutes, and it didn't do it. But tonight I ran it for 10 minutes, and it did it.
Okay, are you moving when it's doing all this stuff? It's just sitting still.
It's just running in the driveway.
Okay. I'd have your kid up underneath that dash and up underneath that hood, grabbing all the wiring harnesses and pulling them around and watching everything on the inside as he's doing it, because it might just be a loose connection or something. You know, when he grabs a hold of something and starts wiggling, and if your dash starts fucking up, go, hey, whoa, hold on to that right there. What do you got? And then follow that shit down.
It's turning the heater off too.
Well, you got trunk wires, though.
The other crazy thing is I've got one of those radios in my SUV where, you know, it'll go off when you open up your car door.
Yep, me too.
And so what's funny is once all this shit happens and you know, and the dash goes out and everything and the car goes off, I'll pull out the key and I'll open the door and the radio will come right back on.
It's got to be in your wiring then.
Yeah.
I would definitely have some. I'd start checking all the wiring harnesses, man.
Yeah.
Because you've got you got on your wiring harness, you got trunk plugs that plug in all the wiring harness to the inside of the vehicle, to the outside of the vehicle up by the engine. There's just usually one big gang plug that goes together like that. And
like I said, it happened when I was driving down the road yesterday morning, just out of the blue. I didn't hit a pothole or anything. Just driving, and all of a sudden it just happened.
Yeah. I'd start looking all over that wiring harness.
I'll probably just take it somewhere, man. I don't know anything about that. Fuck shit up worse, man.
Well, I mean, you can just
check on the left side, right side, on the passenger side. Check the carpet and see if it's wet. You don't possibly have a radiator cord leaking, do you?
No, I ain't leaking anything. I'm not leaking nothing.
Okay.
Now that heater core wouldn't.
That'll contaminate your brain in your vehicle.
I don't know. It can be a million of things when it comes to electronics, man.
Oh yeah. The modern cars are a nightmare. That's why I always like the older models.
They did all that shit on purpose too, so we couldn't work on our own shit in the driveway.
Exactly. The older models, you could get a spanner, you can get, stuff, you can take things out, you could drop the engine, replace the engine and stuff like that. You can't do that now.
Right.
It's all to do with computers. You've got to hook it up to a computer. It's all controlled by JavaScript and shit like that. It's crazy. That's why I'm against self-driving cars. I don't like them because something goes wrong, the car goes haywire. It's a recipe for disaster.
Well, that's like the new Jeeps. Somebody got on a laptop and made their vehicles diagnose, did something to the transmissions and
it's a simple JavaScript hacked. It's a simple. See, all cars are run by JavaScript, okay, and you can hack JavaScript very simply.
They've been doing that with Mercedes-Benzes since. Oh man, I can't think of what his name is now. Who was that reporter that was doing the story for
the guy in California that ran into the tree?
Yeah. They said they started talking about all that crap back then because he had one of those brand new Mercedes-Benz that was all computer controlled, and they were talking about how they could hack the system from several hundred yards away if they wanted to with a powerful antenna.
It's easy.
Michael Hastings. There you go. I knew I'd come up with it for a second. Michael Hastings. So, yeah. And there's lots of videos on YouTube of guys going down the highway and taking control of people's cars and shit. Just doing it on a lark.
Oh, yeah.
Just doing it for fun.
That's why I do not trust self-driving cars.
Hell no.
It's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, you think shit's jumping curbs and running over humans right now. Wait till they start having brains of their own. There's some more fucking humans. Yeah. They're going to get you with it, though, man. They're going to get you with this AI. Everybody's going to want to have a slave. Do all your shit for you, do all your chores for you, do all your housework for you, do all your driving for you. They're going to get everybody with it.
Well, it was predictive programming in Wall-E when all the big fat people were just sitting there doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we became a culture and world of people who sat down, pressed the button, and that button did shit for us. So, it's all predictive programming.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
Now that's Stanley Kubrick, and now that's good.
Who was in control of that whole ship? HAL 9000.
Ow. I know that.
It's been out there for a long time.
I need to watch. That's one film I haven't watched for a long time. 2001 and 2010.
All right, Dave, we got about 10 or 15 minutes left. What else we got over there? Any more breaking news headlines and stuff?
Well, I don't really see anything here.
I must confess, it has been quite quiet on the old news front lately.
They're doing a whole lot of censoring on YouTube and shit too, man. The video count's been falling through the floor unless you're following all the trending bullshit they got.
No. What I'm saying is, it's been very quiet on, national events that are normally. It's strange. You normally get a rush of attacks by terrorists, and then all of a sudden you have a quiet period, and then there's an upsurge on attacks by terrorists, then there's a quiet period, and it seems we're in that quiet period at the moment because there's not a lot of international news going on, in my opinion. But I might be looking in the wrong areas.
They're all prepping for the Olympics.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just saying, all the people that are focused on funding the terrorist organizations are now focused on the Olympics.
So are you expecting a false flag and to blame it on North Korea?
Well, no, not necessarily. Because if anything gets started, it's probably going to be started by the U.S.
Of course.
Right. Okay.
That's
but
why
here's the
that's
thing.
why North Korea
Well, here's another thing.
are hard
Right?
talking with South Korea.
All the militants that were fucking around last week down in Syria got their asses handed to them by the Russian Spetsnaz. So.
Oh, that's another one. Hey, I forgot about that. Yeah, that attack on that.
They found some of those drones
Russian
too,
airbase
right?
in Syria.
Yeah. And what?
That attack by.
Oh yeah. The drone attack.
Yeah, the actual attack by drones. They seem to think, or there are news reports or reports coming out from certain medias, that the technology might have been obtained by Ukraine or from Ukraine.
No.
Yeah.
Are CIA handlers over there?
No. But if that's the case, Ukraine's in a bit of a sticky position.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
The Ukrainian government doesn't do anything that the U.S. doesn't tell them to do, so follow the money.
Thanks to John McCain, by the way.
Yeah, or his kid. His kid.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, that was Biden's kid, wasn't it? Biden's kid that was over there? Is that the one that died of the fucking whatever just a couple years back?
Oh, I don't know.
One of Biden's kids died, yeah?
Brain cancer.
Brain cancer, okay. Was he the one that was over in
Same
Ukraine?
thing McCain's got.
Oh, wow, that's kind of weird.
Strange.
Yeah. Was he the one that was over in Ukraine? Because he's got a couple of kids, doesn't he? Wasn't one of them in the military? And
I don't think it was that.
I don't think that was the one in the military.
It was the one in the military.
No, I don't think it was.
Then it was the one over in Ukraine.
I don't know.
Pass.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
YouTube. I mean, Google.
Yeah, there you go. Google that for me, JR. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, just Biden cancer and then find out what his name was.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. My secretary.
Walk her off.
Who, the son's name?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Bo?
Well, I know, but he's got more than one kid. Duh.
Oh, well, Bo's the one that died, I think.
Is it?
Pretty sure.
I'm sure somebody in the chat room will start hammering away on their keyboard and telling us stuff too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Bo that died.
Well, Bo's the one that was in the military, right?
That I don't know.
Somebody let us know. All right, moving on. Anything
Joe
else?
Biden, his son, and the case against Ukraine oligarch. That's an... Nah, I don't think so. Nah.
What's the kid's name that was in the Ukrainian thing?
Hold on.
Go
I'm
through
just
the article and
clicking
find
on
out the
thing.
kid's name.
Hold on. Joe Biden's son had this case against a Ukrainian oligarch. Slow computer.
You don't have to make noise. You can just read.
So I'm just entertaining myself. Joseph R. Biden.
The kid's name is Joe too?
Hold on. Gordon Bennett.
He's over there tapping his nails. Dear, quit tapping your nails.
Man, come on.
No, it's all right. I'm just... When Vice President Joseph R. Biden Jr. Yeah, what? It must be, yeah, Jr. Joseph R. Biden Jr.
You just said Vice President Joseph R. Biden Jr. So that's talking about Joe Biden. Dangerous Joe
right.
Biden. What's his kid's name?
Okay, hold on.
Type in your Google bar, Biden kids.
Well, there's the one Hunt Biden, 45, a former Washington lobbyist.
Hunt?
Hunter
No,
Biden.
it was his son, Bo, is the one who died. He was 46 years old.
Was he the one that was in
yeah,
Ukraine,
that's
though?
it. Bo Biden, yeah. Yeah,
What-
I remember that.
Was he the one that was in Ukraine?
Oh,
I don't. No, he wasn't in Ukraine.
Okay.
It was his other
Hold
son.
on.
Hunter. Is it Hunter Biden?
Yeah,
but
Hunter's the one
that's
in
what it said.
Ukraine. Hunter's the one in Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's what I just said. Yeah, Hunter Biden. Vice
And
President
what's
Joe
funny
Biden's
is that his son, Hunter, the one that's in Ukraine, is going out with his brother's wife.
The one that died?
Yeah.
Wow. Keep it in the family, kid.
Says
Joe
Biden's married son Hunter dating brother Bo's widow.
Wow.
That was in March of 2017. That came out.
Well, all the women in the world, he's going to chase his dead brother's old lady. That's a bitch.
That's pretty fucking low. That's
Keep it in your
low.
pants. Keep it in the family.
Right. Keeping the money in the family.
Yeah. I guess it's better than his sister or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just his sister-in-law.
He was probably sent there to keep an eye on her because she knows some secrets. Doesn't want it getting out to the press.
It's the last 5 minutes, so how about some extraterrestrial news?
Oh, God. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not extraterrestrial as an alien, so don't panic. How about that meteor which was picked up in Japan? Have you seen that?
They found one on the ground?
No. That,
You said it was picked up?
hold on. Yeah.
You mean spotted?
I'll find the video for you. Japan.
You ain't going to find no video for me because I'm not going to play a video of somebody watching a bright spot flow through the sky.
No, but it's interesting.
No,
Is that the video?
Not really. Not
Is
really.
that the video where Skinny Bob's walking across the field and gets his ship
No.
and takes off? Oh, come on. That's a good one.
No.
The only thing I've heard about Japan lately is that they had an earthquake over there or something, or a volcano started erupting or something.
Yeah, well,
something shaking the ground over there. Because the whole island's a
Well,
volcano.
The reason why I'm saying it's interesting is because it has like a second thing that comes out of it. It's really, really interesting.
Wow, it's a fallen angel. Wow. Okay, cool.
No, it's not a fallen. No, it's a UFO. No, it's not.
It's a fallen angel.
No.
If it's a UFO, it's a demon.
A UFO is technically categorized as an unidentified object,
Right.
or flying object.
Right.
So it could be anything. Yeah, it's basically a meteor, or it could be space junk because it came down as green. Green normally says not copper. Copper's blue. What comes?
No, copper's green. Copper in a fireplace is going to be green. It's going to put off green.
Well, it's copper. Then it's copper. Yeah. Physics. Yeah. It's probably copper. So I don't know how much copper there is out in the universe, but I have seen green meteors myself. Okay, so yeah, it was a nice little thing, and yeah, I'm just trying to find it for you now. Hence, I'm waffling. Golden.
I'm not going to watch
There's
it.
still crap on the internet.
It was over in Japan they saw it, though?
Yeah, it was over Japan.
Very
and
cool.
A lot of people, I think, were probably thinking it was something to do with. See, it just looked like a North Korean missile.
It's a green missile. They're coming. It's a green missile.
I'm sticking in the wrong keywords.
Yeah. It's all right. You're still talking, and we still got a minute.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm waffling. I'm not talking. Hold on.
It was really good having you on the show, though. Even though.
I love JR.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
that last time you talked there, partner, you almost sound like you're a bit Irish.
What?
What?
Here we go.
Don't insult me.
If
I
you
like the
get,
Irish though.
if you get with him after the show, he'll give you his email address so you can send him hate mail.
Don't think so.
Oh,
Hold on.
shit.
Here we go. Hold on. Sissy, I read it from a tweet. And I found the tweet.
Well, shit, if it was on Twitter, it's got to be true.
Yeah, of course. No, it was from the Japanese news agency. So,
Well, you know they don't lie to anybody because they're a government.
just about. I got it. Hooray! Hold on.
Hobo says it's a piece of space junk.
Yeah, well, yeah. So see if it was copper or something like that. Yeah. So see, it burns green. I'll just whack it in for you. You know.
Okay. Thanks.
It's all in Japanese, so
Ah, well,
nice, easy to understand.
I'll try to read it later.
Okay.
Okay, we made it through another show. JR, thanks for coming on, dude. I love having you on. It's awesome when you come on.
Okay, cheers, and thank you for having me on. And
hope you had a good celebration over the holiday.
And you, and I would like to again wish everybody in the chat room a happy new year, and I hope it's a healthy and prosperous one for you all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Vaughn, we love you, JR. When I heard you was on, I was sitting here drinking tea myself. Wasn't even going to think about coffee. I think I'm going to have tea with JR.
Well, have a tea with a whiskey in it, please. Make it a proper tea.
What kind of whiskey?
Property. That's pretty funny.
No, proper tea.
Property. That's what I said. Property.
A proper tea. Okay, a proper tea.
Yeah, that's a shot of whiskey in it. It's called the Irish.
That's coffee.
Well, it's called an Irish tea.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I saw it. Anyway, it was called an Irish tea. Lance, thanks for hanging in there, buddy. And you actually had a full conversation through the show today, so that was a plus, man. You're working up.
Yeah, don't get used to it.
Oh, no, never. David, as always, thank you, brother, coming with your stack of stuff and filling everybody in on what's going on around the world and what we can all do to ignore it.
No, you're welcome.
All right. Hey, man, I hope you get your shit diagnosed up and fixed because I know that's got to be frustrating as hell.
Oh, yeah, it is, man. I'm just sitting here, and it's just another problem a person doesn't freaking need.
All you people in chat that have David on your friends list on Facebook, if you know any shit about cars and whatever, hook him up, please. Lance dropped off already. Bye, buddy. Thanks for hanging out, man. He knows I'm getting ready to hang up on all you guys and play music, so that's why he left. But anyway,
Happy New Year, Dave.
I hope you get that fixed and get back on the road safe.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. I'm going to hang up on you now and play music. So,
love you guys. Later. Ciao,
enjoy
ciao.
the rest of your weekends. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, I can pull this other thing up over here and play the outro. As always, everybody, I haven't changed it yet. I'm going to come up with a new closing line, though, because I want to do something different. But until then, love, peace, and cookies. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. At 20 minutes before 8 Central Time, Professor Farrell of the Mount Jennings Observatory, Chicago, Illinois, reports observing several explosions of incandescent gas occurring at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas to be hydrogen and moving toward the Earth with enormous velocity.
We interrupt this broadcast with an emergency. This is not a test, this is the real thing. I repeat, clear the streets, red alert. We think that something has invaded planet Earth. The warning call has been sounded, and the stage has been set and prepared many thousands of years in the making. They've been invading mankind throughout time, planting seeds, even mating, creating chaos and havoc. They claim they're from another planet, intergalactic, but the facts, they don't match it. They paint this picture of peace, but it's more like black magic. Physical crash could not last through the vastness of space. Yo, check your facts, ask Gary Bates. Then take a course from Joe Jordan and explore CE4's first-hand stories of abductions. People are told that they've been chosen. They're given missions and visions, often mimics of wisdom. Often they're told that they're quite special. They feed the ego of man, channel messages through people. Many speak of this experience while seeking guidance. They've been tricked by wickedness. Demonic beings from dark places masquerade as aliens but can easily change faces.
We know now that in the early century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns. They were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water.
Let's talk more about these forces and what seems to be their motives. Explore all their sources. We use due diligence and research, avoiding tricks and procedures that don't align with scriptures. The enemy wants to defeat us, and he's created many rabbit trails as to mislead us. A fallen army of dark angels who work together, spreading lies and deceit amongst all people. They've been around since the beginning and have mastered the spinning of truth, the roots of sinning. They use the lure of pride and ego, used as a snare throughout time for every people. These are the weapons that they brandish, and they abandon their first estate. It seems outlandish. They'll try and bypass your defenses and can customize their lives to accommodate your interest. They can trick you into listen and can hook you like a drug, like an addiction. Even by studying their actions, you can put yourself at risk without the proper balance. And too much time spent in the darkness can have a consequence, like climbing cliffs without a harness. Don't drift too far into conspiracies, cause they can hook you into watching YouTube videos for centuries. Don't get me wrong, you want the answers, but know there's agents of deception running lies just like a cancer, blending truth with fabrication. So don't attempt to dive in deep without a firm foundation.
With infinite complacence, people went to and fro the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small, spinning fragment of solar driftwood. Yet across an immense ethereal gulf, intellects, vast, cool, and unsympathetic, regarded this earth with envious eyes, and slowly and surely drew their plans against us.